Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to Opus Magnum with Lyte. Here we are in Chapter 3. Things have gone down. No spoilers. Spoilers, you just play the game. I mean, we're spoiling the puzzles, but we're not spoiling the plot. Play the game for yourself. Find out what happens. But here we are with alcohol separation. We're here turning alcohol into all of the different elements because, well, it's what we've got on hand. So, as always, we're going to start with cost and size. We are here in the top percentiles on each of them, which means either it's easy or we missed something. We'll see how it is. Here we are with our low-cost solution of 90 Gs back and forth. We've got a track, an arm, a splitter, and our good friend Van Berlo's wheel. And by good friend, I mean arch nemesis. This wheel. It's so annoying because these atoms are so big, and so it's hard to get things into and out of this wheel. But this particular way, slice, drop, rotate, slice, change, drop, slice, and drop. Then we grab it, we rotate our wheel over here, we change it, we bring it back, and we drop it. And then everything's reset. We're good to go. And then with fast forward, we can just zip on through. And we love the look of the Van Berlo's wheel when it spins around like that. And so there we are with our low cost of 90. The only way you're going to do it any better is if you have a stationary arm that does not move, and that is not going to happen. There are just too many things. Just too many things. And if you use a piston, it costs more. What a waste. So that's low cost. Now let's do it in low area. Here we are, we've got our thing. We've got our piston. We're using a piston this time because it's, you know, smaller and more compact. We don't use as much area. And it lets us move things around on here without having too many problems. And by rotating it here, we don't run into any of these edge hexes. And now, finally, the new input has arrived. We were overlapping with that for the sake of saving space. Oh, we could save a little bit of time there, can't we? No sense wasting time there. We can just rotate 2 to the right, grab 1 to the left, and reset. So start it up, get back to that point. And there we go. And then we can just come all the way down here and fast forward it to the end. I suppose here would be a better place to fast forward it to. But there we are with an area of 19. Since we have no unused hexes, this is as small as you're going to get it. There is no sense looking for anything smaller than 19. Now, you could optimize it such that it takes more optimal paths, like I just did with that last bit, trying to get the water in here. I tried to make it roughly optimal, such that you didn't have to worry about rerouting around to avoid your input. But this, all in all, is a really good solution, but it's not fast. At 250, it's downright slow. And so we take a look at our cyclic solutions. Now, this first one was just, how do we get the job done? Because this wheel causes a lot of problems. And so we grab and slice, and move and slice, and move and slice. But then it takes a little bit to get those last couple in there. And note how long it takes to grab our next input. 1, 2, 3, grab. 1, 2, 3, grab. Which is often a red flag to lack of optimality. Now, the thing was, with this one, I was hoping that I would be able to have a second Van Berlo's wheel and be able to do a doubly thing around and about, but you're only allowed one of them. Only being allowed to have one Van Berlo's wheel causes some serious issues when trying to design these solutions, because it means everything has to pass by this one wheel, so having two separate paths, it's not strictly easy. Not strictly impossible either. Because here we are with a solution where it takes it to the left and to the right, but only has one wheel in the middle at the end. And that's because we have these two salts. Well, nothing says you have to make this one earth and this one air. You could always make this one both. And make this one both. Or make this one just earth on this side and this one just air on this side. And so that's what we do here. We slice off the fire and throw it in the bin. We slice off this salt to bring the water in towards the middle. And then we have this second salt ready to turn into earth up here. We drop the fire in the bin, the water in the bin, and the earth and the air in the bins. Now the fire gets to the bin before everybody else. Something is going to get there fastest with this, because the part in the middle has to be sliced 3 times. It's unavoidable. You're going to have to slice the blue part 3 times. There's no getting around that. And so you'll have the slice, the slice, the slice. And then you'll have this super fast at the end, because you're generating 2 of the air and the earth from each of these inputs that's happening every 2 cycles. And so you just have a continuous stream of the earths and the airs up here. And so any optimization of this would have to involve either slicing it faster or balancing the outputs. Now, unfortunately, I was not able to find a way to slice it faster. This part in here, it looks like you should be able to slice it faster, but you're only moving 2 spaces with the track, which means it's comparable to using an arm. And the only way to use an arm there would be if you had already attached it somehow, and that is pretty gosh darn unlikely. And so to optimize it from these 23 cycles down to the 22 to get into the top percentile, we actually analyzed this part up here. Because this part is just about as good as we were going to get it. I was not able to find a way of doing these slices faster. However, I did notice that the air and the earth were not synchronized. And so back here in Cyberman, you'll note once it gets up here, now disregard that arriving early. Something's going to arrive early. But once we get here, it's earth, then air, then earth, then air. And so this air is the last thing to go in. And so if you're able to make that air arrive just a tiny bit sooner, you can shave that cycle right off. And that's what we've done here. By moving this closer and readjusting the things around it to make it work, by synchronizing the earth and the air, you have the air showing up just a tiny bit sooner, and you're good to go with 22. But you are going to run into a very nasty little thing with this problem, in that you really feel like it should be able to go even faster than that. Because these Earths show up 2 cycles before the airs. And so there's an earth in the bin prior to the air. And so if you could get the air there earlier, it would be great. But unfortunately, that is the price that we're paying for splitting it off to the sides like this. By doing both earth on this one and just air over here, one side will get there sooner because you pull one side before you pull the other. So the only way that you would be able to balance this back out is if somehow you were able to rotate Van Berlo's wheel in time to counteract this imbalance. But unfortunately, you've got products coming in every 2 cycles, and it takes you 1, 2, 3 cycles to rotate the wheel. So anything that would be able to counteract that in this design, it's just not going to happen. So it still might be possible to balance it out such that you get more balanced output for the earth and the air and cut it down below 22 cycles. But I have yet to see how that's done. Because I like this solution. It gets the job done for the fire and the water quite elegantly. It's just, you might be able to get it down to 20 if you were able to balance out the earths and the airs. For example, if you were able to rotate it 2 and have one of them here, and have something that changes them here, and then maybe something that changes them here, but then you take them one step further, and best case you save one cycle by moving this up higher and having 2 separate changers. But even then, it just seems like it wouldn't really get the job done. I might investigate that at some point, because as I said prior, the top percentile does not say you're done. It says you're in the top 1%. There still might be a way to optimize it, just that tiny little bit more. But for now, I'm relatively happy with the 22 cycles. This one makes a lovely sound, well, lovely racket. It's got a nice shape and symmetry to it, although you get the asymmetry over here due to the Van Berlo's wheel problem. But it takes your good friend Firewater, turns it into each of the separate elements for your use later. If you've got a better solution to this, I would love to see it. Leave it down in the comments on Discord or on Twitter. And I will see you in the next episode of Opus Magnum with Lyte.